Hello everyone, so welcome to my video. In this video what you can talk about the InnerBlocks component. In our last video we have discussed about the basic use case of the InnerBlocks. Today we will discuss about some other use case. Suppose we want to give the restriction to the users to use certain blocks type, like we want to, or we want that our user will be only be able to insert the image block. That means we want to give a restriction to our users to insert a particular blocks. If we want to do this, we can simply do it using extra property like the allow blocks. So inside this inner block component, you have to pass allow blocks, and this is an array, and inside this array we have to pass the image. We have to pass the block name. I think you already know about the name of the blocks. Name of the blocks includes the prefix of the blocks. For the default blocks, the prefix is the core. So core and the block name. Suppose we want to we want to allow the image block only for our users. So the name of this block will be the core and image. So I want to save this one, and if I go back to the editor and refresh, add the first block, and you can see this is the plus icon, and this plus icon is called the blocks inserter button. By default it looks something like this, and if I select the list view and see our block, our first block, and if you click on this, we'll see an image block is added here. Again, if you select the friend item, I mean this the first block, this button icon will be available or visible, and again if you click, then we will see only image block is being added. That means user only will be able to insert image block only. We can also pass the multiple blocks, like we also want to pass the heading blocks also. Heading like this one, and if I refresh without saving my settings and add this first block again, and if you click, now you can see there are two blocks are visible because we have given the permission for the two blocks, the heading block and the image block. So user will be able to select either heading block or the image block. Like I am going to select a heading, and if I go back to the first block, then this inserter button will be visible. I can click, and you can see again two blocks are visible. So now I want to add image. Then we can see we have added two blocks. One is a heading and another is image block. So this is the procedure to give the restriction to the users. There is the most important part is the button. I mean this. By default it looks something like this, but you can customize it. Even you can use a custom component for this button. We'll talk about the custom component later. Right now I want to show a built-in component, and it is coming from the InnerBlocks by default, and that is called the button blocks appender. So if you want to add the button and want to make it visible always, we can do this. And to do this, we have to add a new properties that is called render appender. And render appender accept a function, and since it accepts a function, we can pass a component, I mean this functional component in this case. However, I want to use a built-in InnerBlocks built-in component, and that is InnerBlocks dot button block appender, this component. If I save this one and go back to refresh this our editor, and again I want to add the first block, you can see now it is a full button and it is looking now better. Now if I click, I will see the two blocks hiding an image. Like we want to add image. Right now you can see this button is always visible. We can click and add another block. Again we can click and add another one. So this is the basic use case of the InnerBlocks. In the next video we'll discuss about the advanced use case of InnerBlock component. Thank you.